Show me the new link. Show me the new link.
It's running no now. That is running.
पूर्वा को दो. पूर्वा. Okay. अभी देख क्रिएट कर।
अरे हो गया दो लिंक है, तुम्हें भेजा है, तुम्हें प्रिया को और ये हो गया तो इसकी जरूरत नहीं है।
ये किसको भेजा?
तुम्हें भेजा है, प्रिया को भेजा है और तुमको भेजा है।
एक से मैं अभी देखा, मैं अभी इसमें वॉइस इज नॉट कमिंग है। Where is this chat? नहीं गीतांजलि इट्स गॉन ना।
It is an honor for us to have Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal, founder and chairman of Bharti Enterprises among us. We also have Mr. Rajesh Sood, managing director of financial services, Bharti Enterprises. A warm welcome to the both of them. We'll start the proceedings at the town hall now. May I request Sam to come on the podium and take it forward from here, please.
So we are really happy to have today, obviously, our chairman, founder of Bharti Enterprises, Mr. Sunil Mittal here. He does it before last time to open and inaugurate our office. And obviously, today we have Rajesh Sood also who joined us, and head of managing director of Bharti Enterprises for Financial Services, which will includes both the insurance companies as well as he's on board of Airtel Payment Bank. So welcome both of you, and thank you for coming on. We'll now ask Mr. Mittal to say a few words to us, and then we'll ask Rajesh to say a few words. All yours.
Thank you, Sam. A very good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
Pleasure to be back here. It's been nearly a year that I was last here in July. And we all know the purpose of today's visit is to introduce to you Rajesh. We landed just a while back and we were greeted with heavy showers. And I see that as a very nice common Rajesh to you. Every time we have a rain, it's a real welcome sign. But today, one of the purposes is also to say thanks to all of you for having, built this wonderful platform for someone like Rajesh to come and, take it to the next level. The last 2.5 years have been really one of great degree of satisfaction and pride for what we have achieved and done under the leadership of Sam. Sam and I met about 3 years back and shake this two joint ventures between us and AXA out of the slumber that we had founded for nearly 9 years. And on the back of the Sam's commitment and strength, we took upon ourselves to take full charge of these joint ventures. And I'm really glad we did so, because these 2.5 years have turned out to be one of very fruitful engagement and association between Sam and the Bharti Enterprises. We brought, as you know, the business from Bangalore to here. The senior leadership team moved here. All this transition happened under his direct charge. We moved into this beautiful office, combining both the leadership teams here. Importantly, we became self-reliant in terms of our IT systems, our claim systems, and everything else, yanking away from the support that we had from AXA, which were not only expensive and time-consuming, but perhaps in some sense alien to our requirements here. Some of those systems were really not truly required by us, or they were not efficient in what we wanted to place in the marketplace. Last 2.5 years, in particular the last 1 year, has also been of alliances, which we have built, especially in the general insurance side of picking up HDFC, Standard Chartered Bank, Axis Bank, DBS, and several others, which have given us the heft to be in the marketplace in a significantly higher volume levels than before. We also broke through the automobile companies, the OEMs, where we got Maruti, we got Hero, we got Mahindra, several others, and a lot of corporates also in the last 2.5 years got moved on to us. More work is to be done, but there's a great start there. On the life side as well, we made a small breakthrough finally with Karnataka Bank and picked up a few of the small cooperative banks. More needs to be done. Rajesh comes from the background of life. I'm sure we will be able to start to pick up a few more banks into our kitty, given that there is a need to expand our life business also through bank assurance. We will have to do a lot more there. But let me, thank Sam for the period he spent with us, nearly 2.5 years by end of the time he leaves in September end. Sam always was here with me for 4 to 5 years. That was the commitment we had with each other. He wants to settle down, dealing with you. More importantly, I think last month or two when we have discussed how do we take this company forward, what all are the stress points, what are the joy events in this company. You have been remarkable. I've dealt with many professionals in my life. This is a personal joy having this partnership. seeing level in both general and eventually maybe more importantly go heavy onto the digital side. The new world is going to be more digital, and that is where these joint ventures need to be a lot more digital savvy. Because reaching out in the traditional form of what we have been used to, or any other insurance company has been used to, is changing rapidly. We are seeing some of the companies around the globe which are coming with almost virtual digital insurance platforms, and they're growing at a rapid rate. The same is happening on the banking side. Our own new baby, Airtel Payment Bank, is connecting tens of thousands of new customers on a daily basis, all on digital format. And that is giving us hope that eventually the future in this country, for the millennials, for the next generation population, lies in being more digital. That's one space where I will urge Rajesh and all of you to embrace that change so that we can have a lot more firepower on our side. Finally, this business in the initial years required a lot of capital. Insurance companies required significant amount of irrigation of capital in the first few years. And taking away the first 9 years, I really see this company as a 2.5, 3-year-old company. So therefore, it requires more capital. I'm glad to confirm to you that me and Thomas, who's the global CEO, chairman and CEO of AXA, we have had a firm handshake of a very large capital injection in both the joint ventures in the coming period. This is a commitment which we take very seriously. Yes, the capital has to be deployed wisely. Capital has to be put into the areas which are growth areas, and your solvency ratios and all need to be fixed anyway. But we are talking about very serious capital commitment to take this forward. Will this journey result in us eventually getting some traction and acquiring some other mid-level insurance companies in both the spaces? We will see as and when the opportunity arises. But for now, we are saying rather than going and buying an insurance company, let's put more money into our own businesses and expand in a very smart and a robust way to capture the benefits of the market out there. We will link Airtel more deeply into these two joint ventures than they have been in the past, because we are confident that you are now ready to go and sell your products into the large customer base of Airtel. Airtel Payment Bank is already doing a lot of work with the life insurance side, and they will start to do, I would say, PNC, the general life products as well. They are very committed to Bharti AXA. I talked to Anubhav, who's the CEO of Payment Bank. He's actually very happy with whatever is going on. On the Airtel side, they have chosen HDFC and Bharti AXA. It will be our mandate, if you can succeed in winning their hearts, to have at least 75% business go to Bharti AXA businesses and smaller ones to others. So by and large, I would say the group power must come to your support now. It should not just be the capital, but our relationship with corporates, our brand in the marketplace, our customer base, Airtel Payment Bank, all should come together and pull their weight to take this business forward. Gopal is committed, Anubrata is committed, and Rajesh will be meeting them from time to time to ensure that there is a deeper alliance. Rajesh also is joining the Airtel Payment Bank board. He's already started to attend the bank meetings. As soon as he has the RBI clearance, he will formally be inducted onto the Airtel Payment Bank board, so that he becomes the bridge between those 50, 100 million customers of the payment bank, which should necessarily become available to our insurance business as well. So with that, let me wish each one of you my very best. I'm glad that I got an opportunity to come back to you in a year's time, more often, for us to celebrate some from time to time. So with that, if I may ask Rajesh to say a few words.
Thank you, Sanu, and a very warm good afternoon to all of you. Right. So I guess it is one of the things that I would like to kind of maybe start off by saying. My entire life, I believe, first and foremost, is the principle of, which is that when two people talk, good things happen. So I hope this is the beginning, and I'll get a lot more of your interaction, a lot more of your wishes, your support as we build this forward. But before I go forward, I must thank Sunu for trusting me, for being the confidence in me to win the war and take on the baton from where Sam's leaving us. In very good shape, I must say. And having been in the industry, I'm no stranger. The journey that you've been on for past many years, but particularly under Sam's leadership, the progress that's been made on multiple fronts is certainly visible to me. And I again want to congratulate you, Sam, and the entire team, the two CEOs, and of course, everybody out there, including people in the branches who are watching this. This isn't possible unless the whole team commits to making it happen, and you guys have done it. So congratulations for yourselves. So, a fair background on where we stand today. So I'm not going to take more of your time today. All I would say is that it's exactly those things that got me truly excited about this opportunity. The brands that we represent, Bharti as the leader, and not just the leader from scale and size and customers, but I would say the leader from dreaming big and making things happen in India that weren't thought possible. Taking those risks, actually trying out some new things for the first time and almost writing the playbook on it for the entire telecom industry, not just in India, but overseas. I think are great inspirations for me to say that that's the kind of leadership, that's the kind of promoter ownership that one would love to associate with, learn from, and hopefully contribute to. Equally, AXA, a global leader. When I was joining, Max New York Life, as we were then known, I actually Googled this as to which is the largest insurance firm in the world. And AXA actually is there, and it's been growing over the last few years through acquisitions and other ways. But next, and therefore, when you come to asking for pedigree in terms of parentage, I guess nobody has it better. So that to me was exciting parts of what this represents as a platform. The other, of course, is the opportunity in India. We all know that India has this favorite way of kind of taking 2 steps forward, 1 step backward kind of stuff, and that happens in our business. The regulators kind of yank us from side to side, but that's all right. That's all part of life, and I think we all now toughened, wizened, and I would say a lot more battle hardy than we were 10 years ago in the industry. So the long-term trends for insurance in India continue to be very positive. We have a major role to play, and as the government continues to talk about infrastructure, continues to talk about financial security, and I must say this government in particular has done the most than any other on that element of financial security. They may not call it out like that, but when you look at the schemes they've launched, whether it's on health insurance or pension schemes or crop insurance, they clearly understand that insurance has a dominant role to play in nation building. So I think we're in a good spot. Economically, demographically, regulatorily, even from a government push point of view. And that's the other piece I think that excites me a lot about the future that kind of awaits us. Third, if I may say again, was what Sunil rightly kind of marked, is that this business requires capital. That's the fuel for our business. We don't manufacture anything else except promises. And for those promises to be kept, we need the support of the shareholder capital. And I think with both Thomas and Sunil agreeing to kind of invest significantly in this business, that gives us the right to grow. Equally, we have to earn that right. It is, as he said, not something that should kind of be assumed, but we have to fight hard for it. We have to make sure we kind of return for it, and we've got to be smart about how we go from here. So a lot of these factors, actually, with the kind of reasons that when Sunil spoke to me again this time, I was more than happy to say yes. I'm delighted that I've been given this opportunity. I look forward to spending a lot more time with all of you in your locations, with your leaders, getting to understand this a lot more from the inside, and then hopefully contribute to making all those ambitions and visions come true that we also kind of passionately believe in. So thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for having me here. I look forward to kind of being with you and taking this company to its rightful destiny. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Mittal. Thank you, Mr. Sood. We are very happy to have you on board. We have received a whole lot of questions from branches all across the country and a lot of people here. So we'll go in the order of first addressing questions that we've received. In fact, therefore, to all three of you. We'll first take over the questions that we've received from people on the floor, and then we'll move on to the questions from the branches. We have the first one from Mr. Mittal from Ravi.
My question is from Mr. Mittal. Good afternoon, sir. In the past decade or so, Bharti has been predominantly focusing on the life insurance and general insurance space. Do we have any plans of expanding the portfolio by venturing into financial services, say mutual funds, asset management, portfolio management services, NBFC, etc.? And if yes, how soon do you see that?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because Rajesh has been pounding the table on that. The answer is yes. We must now look at expanding our portfolio. If you know, we have started the initiative with AXA right in the beginning, but that one did not sort of take off again for the same reason that AXA was not really fully committed, and we exited. Then AXA went to BOI. I don't know whether it's still alive. So yes, we need to get back there. Importantly, because our payment bank side does not have the license to lend, they need to tie up with a lending agency. Similarly, for the Airtel customer base, we'll be offering them devices, especially high-end devices like Apple or Samsung. They need funding and all that. We also invested in a platform called Sense, which was a rating engine for customers' profiling, to use that for lending and all that. So I think we need an in-house NBFC or an equivalent to start with. The short answer is yes, we have to do it. When is the only question? I would say once Rajesh is well settled inside, he raises his hand for us to do that, we'll certainly do that. I don't know whether it will be with AXA or it will be just a Bharti initiative, but certainly we should start doing that.
Thank you.
We have the next one for Mr. Sood from Jason.
Hello, sir. This is for Rajesh, sir. So my question is, actually Bharti AXA Life, and how will this fit in exactly to a year-to-year pattern? But if you take a long range view of things, we constructed by saying that there is about 7 to 8% of economic real growth, add another 5% of inflation. The economy itself will grow by 12-13%, and clearly we have to be the front runners in the economy. Financial sector in general, for banks that are very established thumb rules, banking normally grows 1.5 times of the nominal GDP growth rate. So if the growth rate is 13, banks can expect 19. But in insurance, I think we're still trying to figure out the algorithm. But anywhere between 13 to 15 state basis is a damn good rate to be at, and that's what it would be. Back in the vision, I can only say this. Personally, and what I've been fortunate to work with companies in the past, we've been aligned to a couple of things. First of all, and I think Sunil again remarked on that, you have to be customer obsessed today. Okay, gone are the days when you could get by being poor quality, a little bit slipshod, take the customer almost for granted. Today there's competitiveness, there's awareness, and I think between the net and everything else that's happening, there's a huge amount of pressure to say if you are buying an online term plan from us, the experience should be as friction-free as it is when you're buying from Amazon. Now the two are completely different, but the customer doesn't give you any grace marks for that. So I think we've got to, like I said, use the word customer obsession and figure out how to win the customer, how to own the customer. That's the other part. And when you ask about other financial services businesses, and before we get too far into that thinking, I think we first have to own our own customer. I mean, today, if you have churn, if you have persistency, issues in the business, and this is industry-wide, I would say, it's not just us, we've got to first say, what do we need to do to make sure that this guy remains with us, and then gives us more of his business. I'm sure in life insurance, there's this, it's almost a fact, which Libra puts out, that one customer buys 7 times in his lifetime. Now, how many times out of 7 does he choose us, right? So I think there's a lot to be done on that side. So I would say be customer obsessed. I'm a big believer that people centricity is what makes it happen, and therefore we will win by creating enough of our own so-called vision personally. It will all flow from the collective vision, and I think the group's already got a very powerful vision. Actually, one of the things I did was read up what's Bharti's vision, and to me that was inspiring. And if you haven't kind of already come face to face with that, you should. If we just implement that vision internally, I think we're home.
Mr. Sood, the next one again is for you. It's from Sachin.
Yeah.
And Sajay Thakkar from technology team in Bharti AXA. I'm curious to know what will be your focuses or priorities in next 100 days.
All right. Well, Mr. Modi has set a very scorching pace in his 100 days this time, so I guess the questions changed context a bit, but nonetheless, I'll answer it. I've read many books, by the way, which talk about the 100 days, but I'm a believer that the businesses we are in are actually marathon races.
They're not sprints. So one wouldn't kind of want to do anything in a hurry in that sense, but one would want to be a lot more sure-footed about the strategy that we put together and the execution we do. So to that extent, my 100 days are actually all going to be about understanding the business, understanding the teams, the people, the culture, your priorities, what are you already working to, because it's not as if I'm coming to a startup. I'm coming to I would say, a reasonably storied, business that's already here. So whatever are your leaders' current priorities, how can I enable them even more? Whatever are the future things that we need to start investing in, how do you start to build the capabilities for that? IT could well be one of them. You heard, again, Sunil Sam talk about data warehouse and analytics center. And that was a place at that point in time, nobody even understood what we were doing. But it's that allowed us to do so much more in the rest of the business, made us more productive, allowed us to be efficient, we grew without spending more, all of those things. The other thing, again, is last year or two, Max Life has been a leader of online term protection. Now, as a brand, we are nowhere close to ICICI or HDFC that we compete with, but we were able to beat them, essentially on the back of some well thought out initiatives, well executed, a lot of brain power that goes into first designing what will win in the market. And so those are the kind of things I would spend a lot more energy on to see how do we accelerate the rate of growth that we already have, how do we make sure we build solidity into that growth so that it's not just month to month, year to year, but for years to come, we can sustain it. And the third thing, like I said earlier, make it a happy place where customers, employees, everybody believes with us, and certainly our shareholders are proud of what we do and kind of clap for us.
You should keep the mic with you. Vandana? Good afternoon, sir. My question is for Mr. Mittal. So in the last couple of years, we have done exceedingly well, and we have moved from rank 18th to 13th. Now, in this scenario, we are being constantly talked about by our competitors, and they also look at us as a talent hunting ground. So, in this kind of a scenario, what, according to you, should we do differently to retain our existing talent in the organization?
I think that's a very good question, and in the end, I am a strong believer that while customer focus, customer attention is extremely important, it cannot happen or even begin if we don't have motivated workforce. That's why many years back, contrary to the public perception or the way you do things, being customer first, and we said if you did not have a happy employee, there is no way on hell we can have a happy customer. And in the mobile industry, that became the norm. So our obsession with our own teams became very high, and that's why, if you, despite a very difficult period that we go through from time to time, and right now we're one of those, the motivational levels that can is very, very high. Passion level is very high. And that is, to my mind, the most important part. So your question that you ask is so important because you can do whatever you want. If you have high churn in the employee workforce, if you don't have happy people who walk into this office every Monday morning after a good weekend, and if they're not excited about it, the rest of things will not follow because you will have a half-hearted growth. You will have customers who may well be served or not served. But therefore, we need to ensure talent is recognized. Of course, they're rewarded. But on a larger context, everybody who works here should feel very happy about being here for some reason or the other. It could be growth, it could be being obsessed with customers, it's ensuring that we have a good name out there, it's profitable, or a bunch of all these things. That is very important. And in turn, the company or the ventures must ensure that all of you are, strengthening your CVs, your income levels, your participation in the wealth creation of the company. It just cannot be one way that the shareholders will take the benefits of all your hard work. So it's got to be a more collaborative approach. We've followed this for a long period of time, very, very successfully. Regretfully, we haven't had that great wealth creation in this particular company in the last 11 or 12 years. We're just sort of coming into a point where the burn rates have stopped, we're breaking even. All I can say is people who have hung around here just need to be there for a little bit more time. The amount of commitment, the capital, the energy that we're putting behind this business, hopefully should start to get visible. But in the end, people like me in particular are stuck where I am. All of you have a choice. And every morning when I wake up, I thank each one of you, wherever you are, which part of the organization you are, that you've chosen to be here. Because you may well go wherever you want to. That's a very easy decision for you to make. For you to stay with us, talks very highly about what we are creating here. And that's our job to ensure that when you wake up, you're feeling good about coming into the office. And when you leave from here, you feel that you've done a satisfying day at work. That's, to my mind, most important. And some of you will, over a period of time, see greener pastures in India, in the same industry, different industry, or overseas. And one test that I need to pass every time when I see somebody from Bharti, wherever in the world, on a plane, on a train, on the street, is to say we can shake each other's hand and say we are good for each other. That's very important. So as you serve this company, as you build great wealth and great market share in this company, it's got to be obligated towards building your CVs, your careers, your aspirations as well. And to that extent, my message to Sam has always been, and now Rajesh, this mantra is very important.
Thanks, Mr. The next one is for Mohit.
Good afternoon, everyone. 2.5 years, and what are some memories that you would cherish and take with?
That's what I was leaving to the end, but anyway, I'll say it. So obviously, I'm delighted that we could build the company to the level it's at today. Delighted that the right couple number 13, so there's still got a way to go. And I think last year we broke even, so that was also a great achievement. More importantly, was building the team. First, when I first came in, the team was scattered and not working together. And now we've got a large number of people who've come in from the industry and want to come here and work with us. I think that's been the greatest thing. And they've all enjoyed it, I hope. At least I've enjoyed working with all of you. And it's actually been tremendous to take the company up. And wherever I go in the market now, everyone talks to me about Bharti Access, which itself tells you that, yeah, you're in the market, you know. Any corporate, whenever you go to, they say, okay, can you code for us? So that itself tells you, okay, at least they're thinking about you. You're in the reckoning of this. So in that way, it's been great, and obviously great. It seems a great team being built up. So many people joining us, and so many people staying with us. That's more important. So thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it. So those are my special moments.
We have questions from the branches. Mr. Mithun, the order we received them. With economy under stress and falling demand for goods and services, where do you think we are headed, and how long before you see the economy turning around and demand picking up? This is come from Sharvendra Sharma in Bhubaneswar as well as Abhishek Singh in Pune.
Well, I think it's again a very valid question. We are seeing headwinds that you see once in a few decades globally. When in Europe, Germany says they're going to go into some deep economic difficulty, that's a serious situation because that's the most strongest economy in Europe, and if that starts to build, with Italy and Spain already struggling, and Brexit is taking the wind out of the UK sales, it's just getting difficult there. Europe is going to see maybe 1.5% growth rate if at all. Thankfully, US, despite of noise around US-China trade wars, is still growing well. US economy continues to do reasonably well. China will start to struggle a little bit. And the safety of the European countries is a clear sign that we are going to see lowering of interest rates globally. Even in India, we are seeing that now. And we were discussing earlier, some of your guaranteed products are going to start looking weak in the marketplace because you will start to lose some money on that. And that's a general situation around the globe. India, while is still holding on at 7% early signs of fatigue are visible in the automobile, in FMCG, real estate, many of the markets. So I think we have to clearly brace ourselves for a turbulent period for the next few years. The good news is India is a continent of consumers, 1.3 billion people, out of which 55% are less than 25 years of age. People are consuming more, people have aspirations, people are going up to the value curve. In a worst case scenario, also India will certainly see a 6% plus growth. Not good, we need 8 or 9 or 10%, but it's not bad as the world is witnessing. Even sub-Saharan Africa, where we operate, is going to be sub 3% this year. Oil prices remain highly volatile. Many of these African nations are dependent on commodities like copper, zinc, cobalt, diamonds, gold. Gold is, of course, seeing strength. and oil, and they will start to see a bit of suffering there as well. So globally, there are strong headwinds. Stock markets will see difficulty, but there's money out there, money in the right direction. So in situations like this, what I've seen is that the investors, customers, corporates start to gravitate towards better run companies, better managed companies, better sponsored companies. It is where I feel that we will stand a better chance than many others. This would possibly be a time where we could consolidate our gains over the industry by a few notches. So we should see this as an opportunity. But yes, in the end, you have to fish in the global pond. If the global pond starts to shrink, your ability to farm much of that becomes more and more difficult. But the company is, I would say, well settled now. It's in a good shape. We should take the most of it. In my opinion, in Airtel and some of the other Bharti entities we've seen, almost every time they've been priced in the marketplace, we have gained share. And I hope that we can repeat this with our joint ventures.
The next one is from Manav Bakshi, Jalandhar, again for you. The financial services sector is really hitting money supplies drying up due to banks being overcautious and NBFC getting underwatch. What is your advice for us in this volatile environment in identifying vulnerable entities to minimize our risk exposure?
I think that is again an area which has suddenly hit upon. I mean, nobody could have thought IFS and DSFL all will be on Reliance Capital in such serious difficulty in such a short time. Normally, they are regulated entities. There are still oversight of RBI and government agencies and all that. For them to melt away so soon has been a real erosion of confidence in the auditors and regulators in that sense. So to some degree, we are affected as well. We got the size of countries in the country. Our percentage looks even more higher. How do you mitigate it going forward? You'll have to probably spread yourself better. You'll have to choose your bets better. And maybe in some cases you earn 0.5% less, but the certainty of your money is being safe will be very important. This is one business where you deal with public money, public funds, and we have a fiduciary duty to ensure that these monies are well applied. So, but you can never be 100% hits. Even in the telecom industry, we do have bad debts coming from even the enterprise business, which is corporate business. But you have to lower it. You have to be better than the best in the marketplace. But this is a business where risks are a part of life. We have to manage this. We can never avoid risk. Risks will all be around us. And I think we have to now Rajesh to put up some more prudent norms in terms of seeing how to mitigate these risks.
Very quickly, all I would say is I think we all have to practice the art of saying no. Sometimes, there's a lot of, if I may say, trend spotting that happens. We all try and follow whatever is being done. The ability to stand away from some of those trends and say, it doesn't make sense to me, irrespective of what others might be seeing or saying, I think will stand us in good stead. And these are great learnings, by the way. That's the other thing I'd say. In every adversity, I'm sure there is something that we learn. So whether it's investments or whatever else we can talk about, there is an opportunity to learn from here and strengthen ourselves from there. But clearly, as I said, the hard call is sometimes to say no when everybody else is doing it, and that's what I would encourage each one of us to think about.
Okay. The last question, Mr. Sood, that's for you. In fact, we have this from Hina Srivastav from North. We have been growing at a very fast pace in the agency channel in the last, especially 1.5 years. We still have a huge room for growth, both in terms of footprint as well as distribution. What is your opinion about growth within the agency channel?
I strongly believe in agency. That's pretty much where I kind of got my teeth in the initial years. I was the head of agency. I was brought into Max New York Life, and I've grown from there. So both my passion as well as my understanding of the channel is perhaps the deepest and something that I hold very dear to myself. Worldwide, agency is the preferred way in which agents and customers like to interact. So I think I also believe that it's coming from the customer's choice, not so much about what we want to do. But customers need advice. They need help. They need someone that they trust and can talk to help them make these decisions about their insurance needs. So I think clearly there is a role that there is there for agency. There's clearly growth that we've already marked on, and there's more to be done there. But the only thing I'd say that agencies in India, first certainly, and this phenomenon are kind of being pushed to do better on are areas like productivity. where it has to be profitable finally for the enterprise, for the customer. If the costs are exorbitant, the churn is very high, persistency is poor, those kind of issues come in, then clearly it becomes a lose-lose game for everyone. Customer loses, we lose, agent loses. So I think we've got to change the narrative there, make it a win-win for everyone, and that's the cycle that we need to shift on. So I would think growth, but profitable growth and productivity-led growth would be the areas that I'd like to kind of see more of.
Thank you. This brings us to the end of the Q&A. Sam, some parting words from you, please.
So thanks, Sunil, and for coming along, at least introducing Rajesh. Rajesh, all the best for the future.
Thank you.
I just want to say thanks, guys. Been great working with all of you. I remember all of you, and I wish Bharti AXA all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This brings us to the end of the town hall. Thank you.